Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received and then sent to me. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you? I am filled with regret, and when I married a man who was wealthy, who came from another country, I thought that I was doing something that was good for myself. And looking at the situation that I was in, and life was very difficult for me, I just wanted someone that was going to be able to take care of me. And I had been mistreated too many times by my ex-husband, and who was taking advantage of me, for he knew that I was desperate. I wanted him to assist me in taking care of our kids. But little did I know that getting married to my boss, who was from Zim, was the worst decision that I had ever made in my entire life. The day when my baby died in the bathtub, that was when I knew that I was married to an occultist man. He was a Zimbabwean man. I just thought that my mother hated my husband simply because he was a foreigner from another country. That was why she never liked him. But she was real when she told me that at church there was a prophet who had told her that her daughter's life was in danger. But I was like, where is the danger? This man, he is always giving me money. He has given you money even though you have refused. For my mother had been given a car which she even refused to drive. My husband had bought a car for my mother on her birthday. I just thought that she was just someone that was not kind to my husband. I am a woman who is aged 39 years old. I do live in Kempton Park. I am a South African woman, and this is my own story that I have in my heart that is very painful. Whenever I think about my baby, the way that my baby passed away, it is really terrifying and it scares me most of the times. But I am grateful that I am still alive, and I just want to give a warning to other women out there. It is nice to have a man that has money, but sometimes when that money is blood money, it is just like you have married off yourself to the devil. So by the time that I had my baby, when I was dating and eventually getting married to my boss, I had slept with him and he had impregnated me 4 times, and each and every single time I had a miscarriage. I really did not know what was going on. So since my mother had refused to give me her blessings, I just thought that maybe this was the reason as to why I was unable to carry the pregnancy until it was full term, because my mom told me that she wanted me to walk away from that marriage, but I did not want to walk away from the man that I loved, from the man who had given me so much in life, who had respected me when my ex-husband used to mistreat me. So from 2006 to 2008, I was working at this other private company which belonged to this other man. I was still very young at that time, and my boss, he was a Zimbabwean man who had many tenders, and he was someone that was really great, and he was married when I started dating him. It was in October 2007 when he called me into his office and he told me that he was in love with me, and that was the day that he slept with me in his office. Like, I really do not understand what made me to even want to sleep with that guy, because I knew that he was married and he was like really old, way older than even my own father. And then that was when he told me that he was going to divorce his wife because he wanted to marry me. And ours was just a rushed traditional ceremony. My mother was not happy. My father, when he had this, because my mother and my father, they had separated a very long time ago. But my mother, when she told my father that this was what I wanted to do, thinking that my father was going to stop me from getting married to this guy, but my mother when she told my father then told me that if the guy had money, I was supposed to get married to him because he knew about my situation, the way that I was being mistreated by my baby daddy, him refusing to give me any money whenever I would ask him for something so that I can buy the kids clothes or anything. He would want to sleep with me first. And the life that I was living, even though I was working, it was a little bit tough. So he was excited and I got married to this guy. He paid like a lot of money. My father, like, he took a lot of that money since my mother was doubting, and my father said, this is my daughter, she is my blood, I can eat all of this money alone, even if you say that you do not want to get married to this very good man. My father was even embarrassing me because he kept on coming to our place asking my husband for money, and my husband would give him money over and over again, and I really do not know what my father was doing with all of that money. So I kept on falling pregnant for my boss, who was now my husband, and I will have these miscarriages. But each and every time when I will have a miscarriage, I will always have a dream, and in this dream I will be with my husband, but it will be so strange because my husband will be like a prophet wearing a white garment, and I will be kneeling down in front of him, and he would say, I can see that your baby is not sitting properly in your womb, so let me shift your womb. So then there will be this other woman that would come out of the water. This woman, she'll be having like really long hair. When she would come out of the water, then the woman will make me to lie down on this other white garment, which was very big, and then it will become red with my blood. So they would make me to lie on top of it. Then they will start to shift my womb. Then I'll start to tell them that they are hurting me because I would feel so much pain as they will be busy shifting my womb, and then I'll start to bleed until the whole garment that I will be sleeping on top of will become red with my blood, and I would wake up each and every time bleeding, and it will be a miscarriage. So I thought that it was because my mother hated my husband so much. I even thought that my mother could have been a witch because of the way that she used to mistreat my husband. Like, my husband was not stingy with money. All of my cousins, they were back in school. He was starting businesses for them. As for my brothers, he made sure that each one of them could have his own car. He was someone that was never stingy. So I never thought that it was because he was a ritualist. That was why I kept on having these miscarriages. So after that, when I kept on having these miscarriages, I then went to this other prophet in secret who told me that if I was going to fall pregnant the next time, I was not supposed to tell or to sleep with my husband for about 2 months. If I was not going to sleep with my husband for 2 months, then I was going to be okay. So this prophet that assisted me was staying in Pretoria. I went there in secret. I traveled from Joburg and I drove to Pretoria without telling anyone. Even my mom used to know where I would have gone to because I would tell her all the challenges that I was facing in my life. But on that day when I went to visit that prophet, I did not even tell my mom or anyone. I just drove there, and then this prophet told me that if I wanted to have this pregnancy until full term and deliver a baby, then what I was supposed to do was I was not supposed to tell my husband that I had fallen pregnant for him, because the moment that he was going to know, then I was going to lose this pregnancy. So the prophet did not tell me that my husband, he was a ritualist. I just thought that maybe there was something bad, like bad luck that was happening on his side, like there was someone, maybe even the ex-wife, who did not want him to have a child with me. So I was just blaming everyone, even blaming myself, but I never even got the courage and the strength to blame my husband. That should have been a sign that there was something that was happening. My husband had been using his charms on me so that I can never even suspect that himself, he was a ritualist. So I returned back to Joburg. Me and my husband, we slept with each other as husband and wife. And then I found out that I was pregnant for my husband. I did not even tell him. Like my husband will always say, the moment that you realize that you are pregnant, please, you have to tell me. And even though I will be having those stomach cramps that you usually have when you realize that you are pregnant with the morning sickness and whatnot, sometimes you will not even want to sleep with a man, and my husband will sleep with me. Sometimes we would sleep together even 10 times a day, and until I would start to feel like I really do not want to do this, but he would sleep with me each and every day until I will have a miscarriage. And when I would ask him, he will be like, the moment that you are pregnant, you start to taste different. You are so hot down there. And when I am inside you, when you are pregnant, you are like really warm, and I just enjoy. Like throughout the day, you will be on top of me from morning until in the evening, just resting, bathing, eating food. Then you'll be like, let us do it again. You will not get tired. So this was like something that used to make me think a lot, like, is this the reason as to why I am also having these miscarriages, that he is having too much sexual intercourse with me? So I did not tell him for 2 months. I started fighting with him from the day when I realized that I was pregnant so that he won't touch me. I then returned back to my mom's house and I hated my mom. Then I went and I started staying with my father for 2 months. And 2 months, that was when I told him that I was pregnant. Just like what the prophet had told me. When I told my husband that I was pregnant, he just went to his country without even telling me. He stayed there until I was 5 months pregnant. That was when he came back and he told me that he did not love me. He would threaten me over the phone. He told me that I was a gold digger. And then that was when I filed for a divorce. And then I got something from him. I got a house, money. He even said that I was a gold digger when we went to court because we were fighting, because he said that I had married him simply because like he was ultra rich. But at least the court gave me something, and it was nice that I had a baby with him. So after that, the nasty divorce, the guy would send people to threaten my father, to threaten my mother, saying that he wanted his money back. He wanted all the cars that he had bought from my parents and my brothers as well, but we refused and we said that we are not going to give you anything. So the house that I got out of the divorce, he said that you're not going to stay there. You will see what is going to happen to you. And at night, I would hear people that would be talking outside in the kitchen, in other spare bedrooms. Like it was so scary. Even when I would bring my cousins to stay with me, they would also tell me the same thing, that they would hear me talking with other people throughout the night. And then I found some tenants that started staying at that house. And as for me, I then started staying somewhere else. I was renting this other apartment. So on the day when it happened, like my baby was having small rash and I just wanted to clean him. So I then took him to the bathroom. I stepped out of the bathroom for only about 30 seconds to fetch a towel. When I came back, his face was down in the water and he was lifeless. I screamed so loud, even when my cousins came and when my neighbors came who heard me screaming so loud, they found out that I had collapsed. As for my baby had passed, I really do not know what happened. I did not even kill my baby. The baby just drowned in the bathroom, and I really do not know what happened. To this very day, I really do not know, and I am so confused. But I know that my husband sacrificed my child, because that very same night when I fell fast asleep, even though I was so stressed, but I just fell fast asleep maybe for about 30 minutes or so. I saw my husband. I was with my husband. We were at this other traditional healer's place and I was holding my child. I gave my child to my husband and he gave the child to the Sangoma, but the child had already passed away. I told my relatives about the dream that I had had. That was when we visited this other Sangoma who told us that my ex-husband, he was a ritualist and he had sacrificed his own son. He was just mad at me that I fell pregnant. I did not tell him because his rituals demanded that I was supposed to fall pregnant, have miscarriages over and over again until I was going to commit suicide, and he would use my blood to feed the snake that he was said to have. Life has been difficult for me and I blame myself. Sometimes I do hate myself when I am really depressed for ever allowing myself to get married to this guy who was a ritualist, but I never knew that all the money that he had, it was not because he was a big businessman, but it was because he was a ritualist. Even the ex-wife knew that was why she left the guy. And I thought that I had been given this husband by God. And I have been married 3 times. I have gotten married to a guy who was a police officer. I got married to this other guy who was a teacher, even a Nigerian pastor who ended up seeing my dead baby in a dream over and over again. Every time when I fall pregnant, in the first month, I start to bleed. I will see a snake in my bed. Then I will have a miscarriage. And all of my relationships, they just end the moment that I will fall pregnant for a guy. I was even surprised after sleeping with a guy using protection. We never slept with each other without using protection, but I ended up falling pregnant. I really do not know how it happened, and I lost the baby still in the 2nd month. I just had a dream, the same dream. I was with my ex-husband. To this very day, I live alone now. I do work at a call center. I do go to church, but I have never had peace since that day when my child passed away until now. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.